Alright then. This is the Solo Gamer aka MacCat, and we are wrapping up my Let's Play of Shank for Xbox Live with the final fight, which is the last level of the game plus the final boss fight. So here we go. And pick up right where we left off with the dead dude. And it goes right into the next level. There's no pause. So let's see what happens here. Now this final level is arguably one of the least complex, mostly just consisting of of a long series of fights. Essentially you're going to get, just one brawl after another, after another, after another. And again, the music in this level from the last one, again, is relatively subdued. So you'll deal with a lot of bad guys and do some mild platforming, but nothing too serious. Nothing quite like the super hard levels in the Bells and Bombs series, like in Angelo's level or in the Caverns. Yeah, don't you send off your grenades at me. Oops. Okay. Didn't need the grenades to kill me. Yeah. In reality, this level's not too difficult once you've gotten the patterns down, but there's still a few things that can wind up killing you if you're not ready. Just juggle him. And thank you for the grenades. Now, you may notice that I'm switching back and forth between different weapons quite a bit in this level, and that's mostly just because I was experimenting and messing around. But, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But when we get to the final boss fight, you'll see that I adopt a very specific strategy. And just jump up there, stab a tree a couple of dozen times, jump there and there, and a little bit more. There we go. Surprise! And as I mentioned, this is something that you'll run into a lot of, is arenas where you're pinned between guys with guns and guys on the ground with weapons, and it's just a pain in the rear. One thing I never liked about this system, for the controls at least, was that you can't aim up while jumping. Admittedly, I know it seems kind of strange, but it would have been really helpful in certain situations. Yeah, regardless, no problem in dealing with that group. Time to move to the next. In reality, this level's not as difficult as some of the others, especially some of the more long-winded and group-tastic fight scenarios from the Red Light District. I think the most you'll see here is like one major room or two where, here it is, where you get pinned between two groups of enemies and just keep having to dodge back and forth to get around. But in reality, beyond that, it's not that big of a deal. You can more or less just use the pistols to wreck everybody's stuff, keep some distance, and you'll be okay. And the guys at the top cannot shoot through the floor to get to you, so that helps. And they will kill each other. The close proximity will let that happen. It's not a difficult fight, it's just tedious. And he's dead. And now I just sort of hit those guys with repeated barrage and they'll be dead in no time. Next. So I'm platforming here, and somebody just died. And I didn't see that. Okay, and he just threw himself off a building. And he easy saves me trouble. Sometimes I wish all the big guys would do that. And he's dead. And he's dead too. And problem taken care of. Yes, run away. You only prolong the inevitable. Stab, 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 stab. And here comes another of the fights I mentioned where you're dealing with both airborne attack from bullets and ground-based attack from soldiers. And it's a pain in the rear because you're essentially having to run back and forth across the room to deal with these guys. And the guys with the guns can be a royal pain. It's not super challenging if you can keep the guys on the ground off of you. But when you're dealing with guys up top, they're the nightmare. Yeah. Try to prioritize them if you can, but you'll often have to go back and forth between the two groups. I think we're closing in on Ceasar here. I don't remember. Yeah, I think this is it. You jerk.
Where's Angelo?
Dead.
He's no longer a concern.
Shall we begin?
Dude, I've been killing through all kinds of people to get to you. I think we should get started. Now, he is one of the few bosses that fights almost in the same way you do. He still has the boss patterns and everything, but once you've learned how to fight against those, he still has some trap moves that can kill you. Like that. And he can hurt you because he uses a lot of weaponry. See? Yeah, you egotistical jerk. Now you'll no doubt notice that I'm trying to hold my own against him and he keeps smacking me away. And there's a reason for that. I never got good with those reflex things, where the LT pops up across his head. I never got good with those, so that makes this battle a pain in the rear. Now once you can get the timing right, and I do start to get it much better later on in the fight.
You have improved over the years. A shame you couldn't be loyal.
Eh, screw you and your loyalty.
You didn't send me there as a test of my loyalty. You needed to find her.
That's right, you set me up, you bastard!
Follow him to find the girl. Then kill both of them.
And there's Falcone, and this is the only time you see him. But he plays like a major role in the multiplayer co-op mode.
Will you stop that shit? I never understand you.
Shank made his choice when he shot Rudy, just as you will make your choice now.
And it's implied, but never made mention of, that he essentially walks away and never comes back. And so every boss you fought had a reason for going after you. Now this is phase 2, and he's both faster, more powerful, and now has a nearly instant kill move. But now his reaction time is slower, so the LT things are easier to pull off. Plus, more booze available. And you want to try and force the LT as much as possible now, because it's how you'll do the bulk of your damage. And again, the awesome music kicking in. I honestly think that Shank was one of my favorite games that's ever been out in the arcade. And stuff like this is why. It goes back to that old school epic feeling from the 2D side-scrollers.
You don't know the whole story. You don't know why I couldn't kill her.
There's something you should know. I carry your son.
So now we have the whole story.
A son?
You taught me nothing comes before family.
I was your family.
So was she.
If I had known she was with child, that would have changed things.
I love how he thinks that makes it better, and Shank just goes berserk. And now phase 3, and Caesar's pouncing too. Boom! Love that. Air suplex. And this has arguably one of my favorite endings in game history. As simple as it is, I love it. But I'm just trying to polish him off. Cheap shot. Right to the kidney too. And so stabbed, sliced, and shot twice. And Caesar thinks it's over. It's like, dude, have you learned nothing yet? If everything else didn't kill me, that ain't gonna do it either. 2 more bullets. And here's Shank pulling a little Street Fighter. Sure you can, baby. With a freaking knife, too. And Caesar's dead. Ironically, he's the only bad guy that Shank shows any respect to. And I sort of, when I originally saw the game, I was hoping they'd make a sequel, and they did. Which is awesome, and I'll do another Let's Play about someday, but next project, Mass Effect 3. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play of Shank. This is the Solo Gamer aka MattCat. Have a good day, folks.